Danny is so happy when he's snowboarding. The happiest kid in the world.
His physical ability as a pretty young kid was abnormal. It was amazing.
We were all pretty laid back growing up and just had so much fun snowboarding, and Danny just really came in and just amplified that to a whole nother level. Whenever you were with him, you were bound to just have the best time ever, and you'd just be laughing hysterically.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tweet right out of my boots, dude.
Tell you, this freaking hair has just been such a problem on this powder.
What can I get you, bro?
You know, he's a little bit of an actor.
There's horns under here, dude.
So what's up?
Danny was, right from the get-go, super self-motivated.
I was always proud of him for how good of a kid he was.
I always thought whatever he does, it's going to be something in the creative realm. So he was always just a very outside-of-the-box thinker.
Danny was my best friend. We were very close, and I didn't mind hanging out with him all the time because he was a really cool little kid.
Danny was really a physical kid.
He just loved sports. Football, he was, you know, one of the toughest kids on the team, even though he was the smallest. And he was naturally gifted, you know, as an athlete and as a competitor, very competitive kid. He was about 8, I think, when he started snowboarding. He asked for a snowboard for Christmas.
It really started out just being a fun family thing to do on the weekends in the long Michigan winters. And then he started doing the USASA, like, kids competition. And that kind of grew into, oh, he does pretty good at these contests. And that kind of grew into, oh, he's surprising us. He's starting to win bigger and bigger events.
Danny winning his first contest wasn't a huge surprise. I knew that he could go pro.
Once I signed my first contract with Burton, then it just started. I went to the Arctic Challenge like the next week, and boom. A dream come true, for sure. 17-year-old kid just like go travel the world on somebody else's dime, you know? It was insane.
Most important thing to him was being a pro snowboarder and hanging with his buddies and being able to live that kind of life where you can just snowboard for a living. That's like a kid in a candy store.
Pretty much these guys are gonna go cause a little trouble across America. It's awesome.
We all just kept pushing each other to get better and better at snowboarding. And then our friend Kevin, the Olympic hopeful, suffered a severe traumatic brain injury.
2010, going for the Olympics, the Friends crew was at its prime, and we were on the highest of highs. And then when Kevin went down, it was just like,
We just kept it going, you know? We were still competing, still going to the contest, still doing our thing. And Kev was just like in an induced coma in the hospital, you know?
I honestly get like the chills thinking about when Danny landed that run in Mammoth, right after Kevin fell and beat Sean and secured a spot onto the Olympic team. It was like, okay, we're back.
Three double corks, never been done before. I mean, everybody was like, wow, Danny beat Shaun White.
And it was really wonderful because there was so much support for Kevin. That Mammoth Grand Prix was all about showing support for Kevin.
We went out partying after we won the contest and drank too much, got on a four-wheeler, and bam, hit somebody's gate. I broke my back and shattered my pelvis.
They told me that they airlifted him from Park City to Salt Lake, and that was kind of hard.
There's a lot of guilt on Danny's part. Kevin, when he got hurt, he was in the half pipe working. He was working hard, and when Danny got hurt, he was intoxicated on an ATV.
If Dan had gone on to the Olympics and won those Olympics, like, he was on a path to be like a full-on, like, pop icon. You have to accept that things happen for a reason and learn from them. And I think what's been amazing is to watch Dan just like, all right, here's my new reality. Let's go, man, and we're gonna make this work. And it's been very inspiring.
Danny's really a strong individual. He pushed past it.
Danny was trying to stay true to style being important in his snowboarding. I think that fit him well to be an ambassador to style in some respect, you know, to make sure that, hey, style's important here.
So he started doing just like creative runs, and it kind of like caught. The judges loved it.
And I think 2014 and 2015 X Games was that reward for style.
You know, it's kind of like a win for snowboarding, right?
Looking to defend his gold. Backside 720 into the switch method. This is the only rider who switches it up every single time. Cab 10, flawless. Front 10. A 93.66, and Danny Davis has done it, defending his gold on the final run of the contest. Unbelievable.
He loves the X Games. And when Danny won in 2015, it kind of like said, okay, now I feel like I've beat everybody.
You don't do what he does, say, in a half pipe without being this insane athlete. And so naturally, it's like really easy for him to transition into this splitboarding, mountaineering stuff. It's funny, in this world of snowboarding, it's like 28 is traditionally old, and I'm talking to Dan going, dude, you have so much snowboarding in front of you. If you do this snowboarding that is not just beating the crap out of your body, and it's clear when I'm in the mountains with Dan, he loves it.
I can't believe I've gotten as far as I have in snowboarding with as little snow safety knowledge that I have. I mean, I've been really lucky. Now I have the time to better my skills out there, have a better understanding for the mountains and what they can do, and be ready for any situation. Having Nick Russell as my riding buddy has really led me to some amazing trips. We went to Bolivia. That was like the first time I'd ever done some high altitude stuff. We went to Chile and did some high Andes snowboarding. And then we went to Denali this summer, all because of the people that are leading me through this side of snowboarding. I got some really good teachers. Yowzers.
That was gnarly. Oh, that was gnarly. You can take the kid out of the X Games, but you can't take the X Games out of the kid.
Of course, he's just gonna keep going and going and going into the backcountry, finding new places to snowboard. I mean, nobody loves snowboarding more than Danny Davis. Nobody.
I just want to snowboard for the rest of my life. You know, that's the goal, is setting myself up so I can just ride every day and enjoy being out in the mountain.
Arigato gozaimasu!